Hello everyone, welcome to today's video on how to find the rental price of a property. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, and sometimes, unfortunately, there isn't lots of data. Like if you've got an area that's really competitive, there's properties coming on the market to rent, but they go really quickly, sometimes it can be really hard to try and get an accurate indication of what the rental price might be. But you need to know if you're going to be looking at renting a property out, if you're thinking of buying a property as a longer term investment, to try and get an indication of what the local market rents for is really important. So in today's video, we're going to share with you how to do that using the main portals, so Rightmove, Zoopla, and on the market. We typically say to look as many portals as you can for this particular technique, because unfortunately not one portal has all the properties, but also when you're looking at a portal, if they've only got a certain number of properties, for whatever reason at that moment in time, maybe one portal has more terraces and another portal has more semis, just because of the way in which those listings with the local agents have worked out. And it can be really difficult then to get an accurate indication of what the rental prices are. So by using all three portals, it takes a bit of extra time, but it gives you a more accurate idea as to what the rental prices could be. So very simple, looking at Rightmove as this example, choosing Chester, going to rent. Now you can set some very basic criteria. What I'd usually say is keep it super wide at this point, and then we'd kind of narrow down to find the right properties from there. So we're going to include let agreed properties, added to the site anytime, and all property types. Keep the radius the same as the area. We're not going to add it or reduce it at the moment. And then price range and number of bedrooms. Interestingly, we're going to keep open at this point and simply find properties. So we want to see how many properties, first of all. So in Chester, on the market to let, right now, 232 properties. Great, that gives us a good starting point at least. But if you're in a smaller location or a more rural area and you do this search and you keep it really broad and there's hardly any listings, that makes it super difficult to get comparisons. So your default approach might be to call up some local letting agents and just have a chat, get an indication of what they think the market could be for a 2-bedroom terrace in your area, or a 1-bedroom flat, or a 3-bedroom detached house, whatever the property types is that you're looking for. You might have to physically pick up the phone and have a conversation. This is looking at data and looking at recent listings to try and get a good guide as to what those properties could be without needing to speak to a letting agent in the area. So if you're looking at a brand new area, you don't know anything about the location, try and give you an indication of what the price could be for rent. We're going to narrow this down now to something that's a bit more along the lines of the types of properties that we're looking for. So let's say it's a semi-detached, and you could be thinking of buying one, or you could already own one and you're just trying to get an indication of what the local price is. Unfurnished, I'd leave these open, but you can start to add things like unfurnished and more filters if you've got lots of properties showing. This is still showing 22 properties. It's not bad. It gives us a good example. If we go to filters here, I would also look usually to take out some of these filters. So house share, retirement home, even student accommodation, depending on what type of properties you've got, and then clicking on done. I've gone to the map rather than the search list, because for me, I find it easier to get a nice visual indication of where maybe the property is that we're thinking of looking at valuation for, compared to the ones that are coming up on that area search. And if you scroll in, you can see the portal here will start to add properties in that area. So interestingly, in this area, which we've used as an example on some of the sale video techniques that we're looking at, is showing no properties on the market for let. So this is quite a broad criteria. We've got no price range here, no bedroom types, simply property type of semi-detached. I'm going to take that off and click done. And it gives us some more options. So it gives us at least a chance to get kind of a baseline price. So 2-bedroom terrace here, 1,100. 1,100 for a 2-bedroom. 2-bedroom apartment, 2,000. That's quite significantly higher. Worth having a look at, seeing why it's so high compared to the others. A 3-bedroom terrace, 1,300. So if you've got a 3-bedroom semi that you're looking at a comparison for versus a 3-bedroom terrace, so a semi-detached house is going to be usually slightly larger than a terrace house, usually bigger footprints, larger room size maybe, gardens, things that a terrace house won't necessarily have. So you would certainly hope that it goes on the market for a higher price. So we're not going to compare it like for like and say, yes, the 3-bedroom semi-detached is going to be 1,100, but that I would use as a stop point almost to say, well, it shouldn't certainly be lower than that. This seems like an outlier price at the moment. 2,000, 1-bedroom apartment for 850, 1,400, 750. So it's quite a broad range of prices. And then this is probably on the higher end, a good example. Slightly different location here than here, but it gives us a starting point. 4-bedroom end of terrace house, 1,800. So it's a very broad criteria, but what we're looking at the moment is that there's a rental market anywhere from sort of 1,300 to 1,800 in terms of its potential rental value. And then the next step is to narrow that down. Now, in a perfect world, you've got loads more comparisons, but because there's not many on Rightmove currently, we then do the same search on Zoopla, same search on the market, and just see what's coming up on those property portals, because it might be that they've got properties that aren't listed here, and it gives you a better example. So rather than 1,300 and 1,800, maybe they have one or two here that are priced 1,500, and it gives us a good starting point. So okay, well, maybe 1,500 is a good baseline for a 3-bedroom semi-detached house in that location. So I hope that helps. Hope it gives you a good starting point on trying to find values. As a fallback, as I mentioned, next step, call the letting agents, trying to get an indication of what they think the local market value would be. Don't just rely on one, speak to a couple. It gives you a better and a broader feel for the area. And certainly condition, location, number of bedrooms and size of bedrooms is all going to make a big difference on your price ranges here. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an indication. Any questions, as always, please feel free to ask, and look forward to catching up with you in the next video. Take care.